Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about Pepe's potential. Pepe is a meme coin, and I've talked about meme coins on my channel in the past. I think I started talking about meme coins a couple months ago. I made a video about Tsuka. I'll have that pop up for those who are interested. Where I, kind of talked about my beliefs about value and subjective value theory and essentially networks and communities, right? I, so one thing I like to do on this channel is I like to document my own investment journey. I'm doing this for two reasons. One, I want to be historically accurate, and two, I want to sort of put my reasoning and thinking out there as to why I make the decisions that I make, because I want to be able to go back and see what I was thinking, whether I'm correct or wrong, where were the cracks in my thoughts, and hopefully just improve my thinking and my investment. It's important to note, so this video I'm going to talk about the kind of some high overarching ideas. We're going to be talking about obviously Pepe. You could see I have the Pepe.vip website pulled up here, and Pepe is the most memeable meme coin in existence. The dogs have had their day, and it's time for Pepe to take reign, right? So Pepe is definitely blowing up right now in internet culture, on Twitter, on YouTube. And I bought a bag of Pepe. I'm going to talk to you guys about why I did it, what are the opportunities, and what are the risks. So I want to first talk about just some overarching principles, right? My investment style is kind of a mixed bag, right? I have some projects that I have like sort of high confidence in, right? And these are things that I dollar cost average into, that I don't intend to ever sell, or at least not for a very long time. And then I have another side of me that's much more like a venture capitalist in terms of I put money in, I'm waiting for things to pop off. I almost treat it like a casino, right? That's kind of like, they say venture capitalists will invest in 10 projects and expect 9 of them to fail. But really what we're talking about is probabilities, right? You don't just blindly throw money. But when I talk about treating it like a casino, right? What I mean is when you go to the casino, you bring a certain amount well, this is how you should do it. You should bring a certain amount of money with you that you are willing to lose. You go to the casino, let's say with $1,000, and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna play tonight. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna spend money. I'm gonna gamble, and we'll see how this goes. If I lose this $1,000, that's fine. I'm not gonna go take out more money. I'm just gonna lose this money." And so, really, what we're talking about when we talk about this is risk management, right? You never want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to invest something and money that you need, especially on something like Pepe, like a meme coin, like something that's so young, something that's so unproven, really, right? We're not talking about Bitcoin, which is battle tested, extremely decentralized, right? We're talking about something that, I have the charts pulled up. Pepe has been around for, let's see, since April 17th, so less than a month, right? And I've been seeing Pepe for a long time. If I had bought Pepe when I first heard about it, I would have already made quite a bit of money. But that's how these things go, right? Um, in past videos, I've talked about my belief that all value is subjective. And it's important that you take profits and that you ride waves. What I mean by that is, let's say I throw $100 into something. Let's say that $100 becomes $1,000. Well, you want to, at bare minimum, take your $100 off the table. Maybe you take a little bit more off the top. Maybe you take $150 off the table. That way you've locked in profits, right? And then you let the rest ride out. You take profits along the way. This is very important. Riding the wave and taking profits. There are going to be winners and losers. So what I mean by that is with meme coins, in these tokens that, especially where they launch and they're fully diluted from the get, meaning the total circulating supply is there from the very beginning. Maybe there's a little bit of locked liquidity. There has to be winners and losers. For some people to make money, that means other people have to lose money, because you, by design, have to be buying the bags of people who have bought before you, right? So you need to keep this in mind. You never want to be the one left holding the bag. And FOMO, right? Like I would be lying if I said that there was not an element of FOMO that was driving this decision for myself to buy Pepe. I tweeted today something along the lines of, "Look, I'm just going to go buy Pepe," um, and part of the desire was, one, there's been a little bit of a correction. We see the chart right here. Um, I like this entry point just because it's like, well, it could go down. I'll buy a little bit more. It could go up. Who knows? We'll find out. But you don't want to buy like up at here, right? That'd be a terrible situation. You want to be making money because then you're going to be feeling better about yourself. But FOMO is not a viable investment strategy, but it's good for the degen in you. So what I mean by this is, if you're looking for long-term investment strategies, you cannot be buying off of FOMO. However, crypto is supposed to be fun. Like, this is an internet revolution, right? And it's a cultural revolution, and it's a youth revolution. And I think that it's okay to have fun as long as you know that you understand the risk you're taking and you don't invest more than you're willing to lose. And yeah, I didn't want to be on the sidelines. Like, I've been watching Pepe since April. Sometime in mid-April, I would say, is when I first heard about it. And look, the memes are dope. And do you just want to be, coping on the side? Like, I think cope is the right term. But essentially, do you want to be the person who's just watching and not participating, not having fun, not getting to participate in the memes? And I just decided to myself, no, I wanted to be able to participate. I wanted to be able to have fun. So I bought myself a very reasonable bag of Pepe. If it goes to zero, so be it. I'm going to be okay. I have a job. I have steady investments that are much less risky. So, you just got to be smart about these things. But I want to get into the opportunities, what I like about Pepe, right? And the main thing, I took some notes while I was at the gym today. The main one is that memes rule the world, right? This is an idea that I've talked about in the past, but memes rule culture. Memes are very powerful. Like, the idea of memes are something that is very ancient, to be honest. And memes win presidential elections. Memes create national currencies, right? Really, what a meme is, it's a way of branding yourself. But I think that meme also has this sort of like side meaning as well, where it's like, it's almost being able to like poke fun, or at least being able to like, people talk about meme yourself into existence, which is this idea of like being so pervasive on the internet that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And people pay attention to memes because it resonates with them. And truthfully, when I first saw Pepe Coin, the reason I didn't invest was because I was so turned off by Pepe. I like everyone. Pepe has been around for a while, and we're going to talk about some of the risks a little later on in this video. And I think that that is one of the risks, is the history behind Pepe and the founder, Matt Fleury. But we'll get into that in a second. But the main opportunity here is the potential to make money, right? Like, that's why I do this. I do this to make money. I do this because I love it. I do it to have fun. And Pepe just allows me to do all those things at once. You get to have fun on the internet. You get to like make money, hopefully make money, maybe lose money. But, people are talking, well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to stick with Pepe. So one of the other opportunities I see is the 2024 presidential election. In the 2020 presidential election, Pepe actually played a role in Donald Trump's presidential campaign. I don't remember all the specifics of it, but I know that the alt-right was sort of using Pepe to, spread their agenda. People were saying, like, Pepe is a symbol of hate and all this stuff. I think that could be a potential bullish catalyst with Donald Trump's obviously running again for president. And I see the presidential election as a potential bullish a catalyst for Pepe. And also, crypto is a young people's game, and Bitcoin is becoming corporate, right? So, like, we're seeing big financial institutions move into Bitcoin. Uh, the Federal Reserve and the central banks have laughed at Bitcoin for the last 13 years, but they're not laughing anymore. Now they realize that it's an actual systemic problem for them. And there's a banking collapse going on in the United States as we speak. So far, it's been 4 banks. There's going to be many more. I think it'll get into the hundreds, truthfully, but not to sound doom and gloom. And I think that in that could take years to play out. That could take 5, 10 years to play out. But I think that within that, people are going to be looking towards new things. And crypto being a young people's game and being a young people's revolution, you got to think about who is going to start the boomer generation and Generation X. I think is like my parents' generation essentially. They are starting to think about, they're trying to preserve, and so they're looking to preserve the wealth that they've created over their lifetime. But millennial generation, who's been screwed over, Generation Z, I think it is, who's below me. These people are looking to create money, and they are internet native. They've grown up playing things like Roblox and playing things like what's that other with the Z Bucks, Fortnite. So they're very internet native, and they understand memes. They understand them better than me. They've lived a meme life. I talk to my niece via text sometimes, and it amazes me how witty she is able to be just through text. She's able to poke fun at me using GIFs and things of this nature, just very easy. And she's only in elementary school, so I think that we're going to see a battle of the dog versus frog, right? And that's kind of what they talk about here. The dog was, the Doge, the Shibs, the memes of the last bull market. And I've just talked about, I think that memes, meme coin, community coins, and subjective value theory, they all integrate to this idea that if people band together and say Pepe coin is valuable, then Pepe coin is valuable. Like no one gets to ordain that in a free market, and the internet has created for the first time a truly free market. And so I just wanted to play with this and enjoy the opportunity of making meme coins great again, right? Because it's like, if you're not doing this because you love it, if you're not doing this because it's fun, NFT investing, digital asset investing, cryptocurrency investing, then you're going to probably get wrecked, because you won't stay around, because you'll just be chasing what other people are doing as things are hot. We just came off of the big NFT bubble in 2021, 2022, and now many people have left the space, and they lost money, and they feel burnt, right? Because they didn't love it. They didn't fall in love with the technology and the revolution and the philosophy. And so you have to love it. You have to have fun. I have made money in this space. I have lost money in this space. I've had investments that have gone to zero. I've had investments that have 10, 20, 100x. And that's just the name of the game. And you got to have more home runs than strikeouts, right? So it's about risk management. You got to be smart. You got to think about these things. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Dollar cost average. These are very important basic investment philosophies and ideas. Let's talk about some of the risk, right? I think the main risk is simply Ethereum, right? Gary Gensler recently was at a Senate hearing committee, and he essentially refused to say that Ethereum was not a security. In my opinion, Ethereum is a security, and that's a huge risk. It was definitely a security when it launched. Maybe it's not a security now. But regardless, I think that there are systemic risks of Ethereum, whether that be on the infrastructure level, whether that be at the centralization level. And so you have to understand that when you buy something like Pepe, you're essentially layering on risk, right? I do believe that Pepe is available on Binance Smart Chain, right? So that's a separate blockchain. So that kind of lowers the risk. But there's a risk that Ethereum gets shut down. There's a risk that Ethereum breaks. And then that's just one level of risk. And then Pepe is on top of the Ethereum blockchain. So that's a second level of risk. And in regards to Pepe, some of the bad things I've heard about Pepe are about bot manipulation in terms of front-running price action. Early investors, I've seen some videos where people talk about essentially that there might have been some insiders who got to buy the bag early. I would not doubt this. Another huge risk is Matt Fleury. Matt Fleury has won intellectual property lawsuits in which, so I don't know all the details, but essentially he's been able to, I think, like hold as a trademark for himself, or would it be a trademark, not copyright. He's been able to protect the intellectual property of Pepe and in various suits, particularly against those alt-right people during the 2020 election, is my understanding. But I have not dived deep into this, so I don't know fully, but this is a risk, essentially, right? There's a risk that whoever the creator of Pepe is goes after people for copyright infringement or trademark infringement. I don't think a trademark. Definitely would be copyright. So along those lines, similar, talking about risks, address centralization. Again, there's been talks that there was an early group of investors. So who knows, maybe Pepe could be deemed a security itself as well. Gary Gensler has recently said he thinks basically everything is a security. And I've written a paper in which I've talked about, I just think the framework from 1933 is completely broken, or 1930, I think, is the Security Exchange Act. Yeah, I just think it doesn't really work for digital assets. I think they're an entirely new asset class, and if the United States wants to try to regulate it, they'd be best off just trying to create a new agency. That makes more sense for what the technology is, right? So another risk is that this project goes to zero. That could happen by a lack of liquidity, right? So essentially, these projects die because no one's willing to buy, and that could mean if you're just holding something like Beanie Babies, right? Remember there was a big Beanie Baby craze once upon a time, and now Beanie Babies are not that valuable. So it's a timing game, and I want to play that game. I think we are probably in the second inning when it comes to Pepe of a 9-inning, sort of meme potential in terms of where this thing can go. I think we're in the early stages of a new Bitcoin bull market, and I want to have fun with it, and I want to, enjoy the ride, have a good time. I recommend you guys check out the Twitter page. You need to do your own research. Here I'm just talking about my own thoughts, but there's a huge China culture. Pepe has, like I said, he has become massive internationally, right? And that's very important for something to be able to catch on. So it looks like there's a whole Chinese Twitter Pepe. I'm just going to go ahead and follow them. You want to be able to understand that you can't just win the United States. You got to win internationally. And so I hope you guys like this video. If you guys are interested in digital asset content, I talk about my investments on this channel. I might also talk about a number of other things. And so if you're finding this video, maybe you're interested, go click around my channel, maybe you're not. But regardless, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about my thoughts. Challenge me. I love to hear from you guys. If you agree, if you disagree, poke holes in my thinking. That's part of the reason why I put my ideas out there too, is I like people to challenge me. And it takes some courage to put your ideas out there. So thank you guys for watching. See you next video.